Okay, folks, welcome back. I know a lot of you have been asking about this one, so let's jump right into it. Boeing stock, BA, ticker symbol BA,
Yeah.
and we found this really interesting analysis piece on Foking Alpha. It's from just a couple days ago, January 19th, 2025,
Okay.
and it's called Boeing BA stock, strategic play for accumulation and breakout potential.
Sounds promising.
Yeah, definitely caught our eye too. So we're going to kind of break it down, see if it's worth maybe taking a look at.
Yeah, what jumped out to me right away was this concept of an accumulation phase.
Right.
Foking Alpha really seems to think Boeing is in one right now.
Mm.
And basically what they're saying is that like the big institutions like the whales, they're kind of quietly buying up Boeing stock.
Interesting. Like
They see the potential, but they're not making a big splash about it.
almost like they're trying to keep it quiet,
Exactly.
keep that price down.
Yeah, it's almost like they're building up a position before everyone else catches on.
Yeah. So Foking Alpha mentions they think this accumulation phase is happening specifically between $140 and $160 a share.
Right.
So listeners, if you're watching BA, that's kind of the zone to keep your eye on.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. And what I find really interesting is that it suggests there's this potential for upside momentum.
What does that actually mean, upside momentum?
So basically, it means that once this accumulation phase ends and those big players decide to really get in the game,
Okay.
we could see the price of Boeing stock really start to climb.
And good.
And quickly.
Got it. So a potential rocket ship, but rockets need destinations, right?
Right.
Foking Alpha mentioned some pretty specific numbers. We've got $200 as a sort of near-term resistance level, and then, get this, $280 as a breakout target.
Ambitious. Right.
Very ambitious.
But here's the thing. They back it up with some pretty compelling technical analysis.
Okay.
They're talking Fibonacci retracements, historical highs.
Hold on. Fibonacci retracements.
I know it sounds like something out of Da Vinci Code, but it's actually a pretty common tool. Traders use it to identify potential areas where a stock might reverse
Got it.
or change direction based on past price movements. And $280, that's not just a random number. Boeing actually hit that price back in, I think it was 2019.
Oh, wow. So it's been there before.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay. Now I've got to ask about these technical indicators. I saw them mentioned in the report, Manx ID, stochastic oscillator.
Oh, yeah.
Does
They
it sound a
got-
little intimidating?
They do sound kind of scary.
For the average investor, can you break those down for us?
Sure. So think of MACD like a speedometer for momentum.
Okay.
It basically tells us whether a stock is speeding up or slowing down. And right now, for Boeing, the MACD is hinting that things might be about to pick up.
Interesting.
And then the stochastic oscillator, that's more like a fuel gauge.
Oh.
It's showing us how much buying power is left in the market. And for Boeing, it's looking pretty full.
So technically speaking, things are pointing in a good direction.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Right. But, our listeners want to know, what does Foking Alpha actually recommend? What should people do?
Well, they've got a two-phase plan. First is the accumulation phase, which we think is happening right now. They say buy in that $150 to $160 zone.
Okay.
But, and this is important, they recommend setting a stop loss at $140.
So you don't lose your shirt.
Exactly. It's all about managing risks.
Okay. So buy between $150 and $160, stop loss at $140.
Right.
And then what? What's the goal? What are we looking for?
Well, during this accumulation phase, the profit target is $200.
Got it. And then phase two.
Phase two is the breakout play. This kicks in if Boeing breaks through that $200 resistance level.
Okay. What happens then?
Buying zone shifts up a little to $160 to $170. Stop loss moves up to $150.
Today.
And the profit targets get way more interesting, $240, and eventually that $280 peak we talked about.
Wow. Okay. So a pretty clear roadmap. But I got to say,
Yeah.
it takes discipline to stick to this, right?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when emotions are running high. It's easy to get greedy or panicked.
Yeah.
But that's when discipline matters most. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. And those stop loss levels, stick to them. Think of them as your financial safety net.
Very wise words.
Yeah.
So Foking Alpha, they don't just focus on the company itself.
Right.
They actually tie this Boeing analysis to some larger trends
Yeah.
happening in the aerospace industry.
Definitely. There's this bigger picture of a really strong recovery happening in the sector. Travel demand's booming, airlines are buying tons of new planes,
Oh, wow.
and that creates a pretty favorable environment for companies like Boeing.
So this isn't just about Boeing. It's almost like a bet on the entire industry.
In a way, yeah. It suggests there's a lot of potential tailwinds pushing Boeing forward.
Okay, so just to recap, Foking Alpha is feeling pretty bullish on Boeing, both short-term and long-term.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
And they've given us a pretty specific roadmap. But, gotta say it again, listeners, this is just one analysis.
All right, one perspective.
Always do your own research.
Yeah,
Maybe talk to a financial advisor
definitely.
before making any decisions.
Yeah. Always good to get multiple viewpoints.
Exactly. And with that in mind, here's something to think about. If you were looking at Boeing, or the aerospace industry more broadly, what else would you want to research before investing? Keep digging, keep learning, and happy investing.